On April 21st, 2025, the Catholic world mourned the passing of a beloved leader. Pope Francis, the 266th successor of St. Peter, passed away at the age of 88, ending a pontificate marked by humility, reform, and a tireless call for compassion. Francis, born in Buenos Aires, Argentina, was the first pope from the Americas and the first Jesuit to ascend to the papacy. Throughout his years of leadership, he became known for his deep commitment to social justice, environmental stewardship, and outreach to the marginalized. His death marked the end of a transformative era for the Catholic Church. Even during times of controversy and challenge, Pope Francis remained a symbol of hope, urging the Church to be closer to the poor and the suffering. As the news of his passing spread across the world, millions of faithful turned their prayers toward the Vatican. The atmosphere was heavy with mourning, but also filled with gratitude for a pontificate that touched hearts across every continent. When a pope dies, or in rare cases like Benedict XVI resigns, a solemn and symbolic period called the sede vacante begins. The first step is to officially confirm the death. The Camerlengo, a high-ranking cardinal, approaches the pope's body and calls his name 3 times. If there is no response, the death is officially declared. The pope's fisherman's ring, one of the symbols of papal authority, is then destroyed with a hammer. This gesture represents the end of the pope's authority and prevents any documents from being falsely validated in his name. The Vatican then enters the sede vacante, which means empty seat in Latin. During this time, all major church decisions are paused. No important actions are taken until a new pope is chosen. This period is filled with rituals designed to protect the integrity of the succession process. It is during this phase that preparations for one of the most secretive events in modern history take place, the conclave. During the sede vacante, the Catholic Church experiences one of its most sensitive periods. With no pope in office, the Vatican is temporarily administered by the College of Cardinals, led by the Camerlengo. However, their power is extremely limited. They cannot make decisions that would change the Church's direction. Their main duties are to organize the funeral of the deceased pope, prepare the conclave, and ensure an orderly and legitimate transition. For many believers, this is a time of prayer and expectation. Behind the scenes, it is a period of intense diplomatic discussions. Cardinals from around the world start discreetly discussing potential candidates in what is called the pre-conclave phase. Strict rules exist to prevent outside interference. Governments, the media, and even entire nations may try to influence the election. For this reason, the cardinals take a solemn oath of secrecy. After all preparations are complete, it is time for the most anticipated event. When we hear the word conclave, we immediately think of mystery, tradition, and secrecy. And with good reason. The conclave is the process by which the cardinals select the new pope. It follows rules so strict they resemble a spy movie. The word conclave comes from Latin cum clave, meaning with a key, emphasizing the locked-in nature of the event. The cardinals are locked inside the Sistine Chapel with no contact with the outside world. Phones are forbidden. Communication is cut off completely. Only cardinals under the age of 80 participate. Before voting begins, the cardinals attend a special mass and take an oath of absolute secrecy. The pressure inside the conclave is enormous. Cardinals from all over the world, representing different cultures and views of the Church, must reach a consensus that will shape the future of 1.3 billion believers. How exactly does this voting process work? Let's find out. The election of a new pope follows a carefully designed ritual to ensure fairness, secrecy, and tradition. Inside the Sistine Chapel, each cardinal writes the name of the person they believe should become the next pope on a small ballot. The voting is anonymous to protect free choice and avoid political pressure. The ballots are then placed into a golden urn in a solemn, silent gesture. The votes are counted and checked. To be elected, a candidate must receive at least 2/3 of the votes, ensuring consensus and avoiding divisions. If no one reaches this threshold, the ballots are burned in a special furnace. Chemicals are added to produce black smoke, signaling to the crowds in St. Peter's Square that no pope has been chosen yet. When a cardinal finally secures the necessary votes, the smoke changes to white. White smoke rising from the Sistine Chapel tells the world a new leader has been elected. The elected cardinal is then taken to the Room of Tears, a place named for the heavy responsibility just accepted. There, he chooses his papal name and prepares to meet the world. And then, one of the most emotional moments of modern history happens, the announcement of Habemus Papam.
Annuncio vobis gaudium magnum, habemus papam.
The moment is historic. As the white smoke appears, the bells of St. Peter's Basilica ring in celebration, and the crowd fills the square with excitement. Habemus Papam. We have a pope. He announces the new pope's birth name and the papal name he has chosen. The choice of name is symbolic. It may honor previous popes, signal a leadership style, or highlight future priorities. Then, the new pope appears on the balcony. In his first public act, he gives the traditional blessing Urbi et Orbi to the city and the world, symbolizing his role as a universal shepherd. This announcement not only excites the faithful, but often signals deep changes ahead for the church, global culture, and international politics. Behind this solemn ritual, there are also fascinating stories and curiosities that few people know. Even with all the tradition and seriousness, the papal election has surprising details. Did you know that being a cardinal is not a requirement to become pope? Technically, any baptized unmarried Catholic man could be elected, though in practice, the cardinals always choose one of their own. Also, some conclaves have taken an incredibly long time. The longest conclave in history, held in Viterbo from 1268 to 1271, lasted nearly 3 years. Authorities eventually locked the cardinals in, reduced their food, and even removed the building's roof to force a decision. Security today is extremely strict. Technology experts sweep the Sistine Chapel constantly to prevent hidden microphones or leaks, making the conclave a true counter-espionage operation. And if you thought the white smoke was just burning paper, think again. The Vatican uses carefully prepared chemical mixtures to guarantee the smoke's color is unmistakable, even from a distance. These details show how tradition and modernity live side by side in one of the oldest and most fascinating processes in the world. Choosing a new pope is much more than a religious ritual. It renews a spiritual leadership that impacts not only the Catholic Church, but the entire global scene. With centuries of tradition, closely guarded secrets, and a rich mix of faith, politics, and culture, the election of a new pontiff continues to captivate generations. Today, you have seen how a pope is chosen, from the death of a leader to the historic Habemus Papam announcement, and explored surprising facts that make this event even more extraordinary. And now, I ask you, which of these facts surprised you the most? Share your answer in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel to discover even more amazing curiosities. Activate the notification bell so you never miss any new updates. Thank you so much for being here, and see you next time for another journey into a world full of mysteries and discoveries.